Hi friends! So today we learned about a new person. His name was Abe Lincoln. And we read the Let's Find Out. We watched a video about Abe Lincoln and we learned some facts and details and information about Abe Lincoln. So I know that that's nonfiction because nonfiction gives us facts, details, information about a topic, right? Next, we started our informative writing with a diagram, and I labeled some things in my picture. I labeled the log cabin, his tall hat, his beard, and books because I remember he likes to read. Now we're going to do our actual informative writing. So I'm going to quickly sing the song to you to remind you what's important when we start writing our sentence for informative writing. So please sing along with me so I don't have to sing by myself. Are you ready? Informative writing, informative writing, informative writing teaches or tells about a person, place, or thing. Hold on. Are we telling about a person? Yes, today we're telling about a person. Informative writing, informative writing, informative writing teaches or tells about a person, place, or thing. Start your sentence with the topic. Finish off with a fact or detail. Start your sentence with the topic, what you're writing is about. Nicely done. So we wrote our topic down here at the bottom, and I wrote Abe Lincoln. You might have just written Abe because we know he's famous for some things that we're going to write about today. We learned some facts and details, and I remember some of the facts and details I learned here. And now I'm going to pick one of those facts and details, and I'm going to write a sentence. So go find your informative writing paper with your diagram of Abe Lincoln and get a pencil and pause the video and you can come back. You can even get your Let's Find Out magazine because you might be able to look back and find a fact or detail that you want to share. So go get your materials, pause the video, and then come right back and we'll get started. Okay, friends, so our informative writing always starts with the topic. So I started my sentence with the topic, and today's topic is Abe. You could write Abe with a capital A for his name and the beginning of the sentence, or you could write Abe Lincoln if you want to write his whole name and be fancy. Now you're going to have to think of one fact or detail that you're going to finish off with a fact or detail. So let me give you some ideas that you might want to write, and you might have an idea of your own. So I could write Abe, that's my topic, was our 16th president. So Abe was our 16th president, period. That could be one fact or detail. Let's see. Let's see what else we learned about him. Oh, yes, I remember. This picture reminds me. He grew up in a log cabin. I have a picture of a log cabin right here. So I could say, Abe grew up in a log cabin, period. That could be my fact or detail. I could say, this picture reminds me of something. I even drew it over here. Abe liked to read. So I could say, Abe liked to read books, period. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, remember how he practiced and learned how to write? He practiced writing in the dirt. We don't write in the dirt. You could with a stick. You could practice your star words in the dirt. So you could say, Abe practiced writing in the dirt. That could be your fact or detail. Or you could say he wore a raccoon skin cap. You could say he had a stovepipe hat. You could say he had whiskers or a beard. Or you might remember something from the video that we learned about Abe Lincoln. So today, you are going to write one informative writing sentence. If you have 2 facts or details you'd like to share, you can do 1, and then you have more room on the back that you can do more. Now, when you're all finished with your writing and you think it's your very best, that's when you get your blue crayon. And we are going to do something called edit. Everybody say edit. We're going to make our writing better. We're going to make sure that it's the best it can be. So, step 1, pause your video, go write your sentences, and then come back and I'll remind you how to edit your paper. All right, if you have your sentences, you can now edit. So you should have a blue crayon because when we edit with blue. So the first one says, I used a capital at the beginning of my sentence. They show you an example right here. So I would go back and check out my sentence. Did I use a capital letter? If I didn't, I should fix it. But I did. I used a capital letter. So I'm going to go over here and say, yes, I did. Good job, Miss Light. You check your sentence. All right. The next one says, I used a capital for the word I. Well, I didn't write my sentence yet. You have to pretend I did. But I'm not going to tell about I because this writing is not about me. It's about Abe Lincoln. So today, I don't need to do this one because we are not writing about ourselves. We're not saying, I am Abe Lincoln. It's not about us. So you don't need to do that one today. Okay, let's go on to the next one. I used an end mark for my sentence. It should be a period, exclamation mark, or a question mark. So go check out your sentence. If this was my sentence, word space, word space, word space, word space. Do I have an end mark? No. So if you forgot an end mark, take your blue crayon and put an end mark. Just pretend I wrote a sentence, okay? But you check your sentence. Now I can go and say, did it. And finally, I use lowercase letters only. So see how the beginning is an uppercase and all the rest are lower? Well, I'm going to pretend I wrote, and I have lowercase b, lowercase e, lower, 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 lowercase, 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 lowercase. So mine is ready. You have to pretend I did it. You are actually going to do better than Miss Light. I want to see your best writing. So after you've edited, put your crayon down, take a picture of this fabulous informative writing, and if you want to send us a video of you reading your sentence, we would love to hear it. Otherwise, send a picture of it and we'll see what fact or detail you're sharing that you learned this week.